So, good morning, everybody. Hi, it's me, Connie McDonald. It's Friday. Yay! I'm one of the few lucky people that get to work Monday through Friday in my field, and super excited simply because I'm really tired. There was no video yesterday. I woke up with a really bad headache. It was a super busy day at work. I went and did an eye appointment after work, thinking that's why I'm getting all these headaches. And my eyes are pretty much fine. I just have old lady eyes that the readers are still good with. So nice to be able to save some money that way. But I've also been sneezing. So if I start sneezing and sniffling, forgive me, I'm human. That's the way it works. So today I'm going to read a daily reading from Just for Today, January 18th, the simple inventory, and then we'll talk about whatever comes up. Okay, so just for today, January 18th, the simple inventory. Continuing to take, excuse me, personal inventory means that we form a habit of looking at ourselves, our actions, and our attitudes and our relationships on a regular basis. The daily inventory is a tool we can use to simplify our lives. The most complicated part of taking a regular inventory is deciding how to start. Should we write it out? Should we examine? In how much detail, and how do we know when we've finished? In no time, we've turned a simple exercise into a major project. Here's one simple approach to the daily inventory. We set aside a few minutes at the close of each day to sit quietly and check out our feelings. Is there a knot, big or small, in our gut? Do we feel uncomfortable about the day that we've just finished? What happened? What was our part in the affair? Do we owe any amends? If we could do it over again, what would we do differently? We also want to monitor the positive aspects of our lives in our daily inventory. What has given us satisfaction today? Were we productive, responsible, kind, loving? Did you give unselfishly of yourself? Did we fully experience the love and beauty the day offered us? What did we do today that we would want to do again? Our daily inventory doesn't have to be complicated to be effective. It is a very simple tool we can use to keep in daily touch with ourselves. Just for today, I want to keep in touch with the way I feel in living this life I've been given. At the end of this day, I will take a brief, simple inventory. Uh, this is pretty much step 10 and in most of the 12-step programs. And it's how I live my life on a daily basis. Is by taking my own inventory. And sometimes I hugely fail and want to be righteous and think I was right. And I wasn't, and other days I'm like, good job, for the most part, for me, this became a habit. This became the core, after the powerlessness and the higher power and all of the other steps, because they're there for a reason. This is the most powerful tool. This and making a grateful list and sticking to that. It changes your mindset. So, uh, according to this reading in step 10, we do a daily inventory and we check ourselves, right? What we did good, what we didn't do good, how we can improve on a future day. And each day is a new day. Each day we grow, and the things that we want to change will become real apparent especially when we ask the universe, God, whatever, to show us those things, and they become more and more apparent and uncomfortable. And some things that in the past may have worked are no longer going to work for you today because they make you so uncomfortable. It's because we're changing stuff. So another tool, and I think this is like the best thing ever, is the grateful list. And I don't care where you're at or who you are, if you're in recovery, if you're not in recovery, uh, daily inventory of yourself, because that's who you have to live with, and a grateful list. And you can't repeat on your grateful list. So at first you may think, oh, everything in life is crappy, my job sucks, and my boyfriend sucks, my husband sucks, my kids suck, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. And, you're never going to be happy. And you're never going to gain more by just being unhappy with everything you do already have, whether that is a backpack or a home or a family or a new family or whatever. So, bottom line, start changing your thinking. So, with the grateful list, um, at first it's usually okay. I'm grateful I had food today. And, if you're in a place, if you live in a home, my lights are on, my bills are paid, I have kids, husband, whatever. Keep it simple to 3 things at first, and you can grow your list as you go. But 3 things every day that aren't repeated things. Pretty soon you're like, you run out of those real basic things that are just kind of off the top of our head and not given much thought. And you start looking for things to be grateful for. Well, I hate my job, but I like the paycheck. I'm grateful I got a paycheck today. I'm grateful I was able to, buy food for the house with that paycheck, and what brings, oh, I hate my husband. Well, what things are what is he doing right, that you do like? And if you can't find those things, you can't find those things. But what I'm telling you is by changing our outlook and the way we view things, we can change everything. And because most of it comes from inside of us. And if we can't, then we know we need to change the circumstance, Um, we all go through ups and downs, and we all do good some days and do horrible other days. And by doing the grateful thing, that helps us look for better things, look with better eyes, I call it. And by doing the daily inventory, we keep ourselves in check. So 30 years ago, when I got clean, there was these papers. I don't know if they still have them or not. Um, but it would write, it would have stuff on it like, so what did you do for yourself in your recovery today? Was there anybody that you owe amends to? What was the circumstance? How could you do it differently? It had some really basic things on it, and I think it was an IP, so they probably still have it. But I made copies of those, and I used them daily for years and years and years, and that just became a habit for me. It was an IP in the NA program, I should say, because I don't know if there's an IP in all the other programs. So even if you don't belong to a 12-step program, you can um, either go to one and see if you can find that IP, or you can just make up your own list of stuff that you want to check yourself on a daily basis, and it just becomes a part of life. And because you don't want to have to fill out all that negative stuff on there, you start changing your own behaviors. If you want, you start changing your own behaviors, and it takes time. And because we talked about all those riverbeds in our brain from habits and the way we think and the things we do and all of that, those are all just really inbuilt in our brain. Like I said, riverbanks, and then to change all of that stuff, like I said before, we have to kind of dam up that area and start creating a new riverbed. And so, it's really hard. Sometimes the dam breaks and it goes down the riverbed that's the deepest. And so we just do it again, do it again. Everything is one day at a time. Changes are one day at a time, this minute. Same, concept for mental health issues. There are some simple steps that we can do. We just have to do them. So when you get in enough pain, or if you're just motivated enough, which most people aren't, that's why pain is such a good motivator, um, then you can start working on, okay, so I have depression, I have anxiety, or I have bipolar, or whatever it is that you have. And here are some physical things that I can do to help myself feel better. Singing, if you like to sing, getting, out in the sunshine, in nature, um, just Exercise. Exercise is one of the best things that helps change our brain chemistry and brings us up, and then we start wanting more of that. So we start doing more of the things that are helping us to feel better. So, it's basic concept for everything. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is today's Friday. I'm pretty excited about that because I'm really tired. The full moon is out, and in my field, it is real that the full moon does affect the people. And I love the moon cycle, so we'll talk about that more at some other time. But it's also payday for me, so I've been pretty broke, so I'm pretty excited about that. And sorry, my phone went off. And so I have some plans. I want to get a haircut and maybe re-dye my hair. I had it all gray for a long time. I let it all grow out and be the gray that it is, and I really liked it. And then I just got bored one day and re-dyed it, and so now I'm re-dyeing it again. So I don't know what color it'll be, but we'll see. So I need to get, do some normal household stuff, pay some bills, and I want to get a haircut. My grandson needs a haircut, and I'm just excited I'll have some time to breathe. It's not like I'm ever alone. So when I say time to breathe, I'm never alone. I have kids, grandkids, something, but I'm home. And and I won an award. I didn't win an award. I did actually this year. I won a scholarship to help me go back to school from my job. And I also got my 5-year anniversary from them, which they sent me this plaque thing. I mean, it's a thing I can frame and put up on the wall. And with that was a web page, and I got to pick whatever I wanted from that. So I got a HD small camcorder thing that you can plug in the computer and download. And I know for all of you younger people out there, you're so old, you don't even know how they've had those forever. But I haven't had it forever, and it's free. So that's really cool. It'll be sent to me in early February. Um, what else is going on? Nothing much. So I probably should shut up because I'll start rambling about anything and everything. If you have any ideas for me, let me know. I am going to call a friend of mine, my friend I realize who is a complete geek, tech, nerdy person who can help me use some other equipment and get things going a little bit different on this format. So with that, happy Friday. It is January 18th. Don't forget to take care of your own daily inventory. It's easy for us to take other people's daily inventories, but you need to keep check on yourself. Start doing a grateful list. And look with better eyes around you. We all have a lot of things to be grateful for. One is we're breathing, right? And if you're in any kind of shelter, I don't care if it's a shelter or a home or whatever. If you're in any of that, then you have a lot to be grateful for. So, with that, happy Friday, and I will see you tomorrow. And thanks, guys. Have a good day.